Hey you guys. So sorry I haven't been posting up videos lately. Been really tied up at work. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give you a lowdown and what I think about some of the comics that have been coming out in the last couple weeks. So stay tuned. So I haven't had a chance to read Thor 7 completely through, but I think it's pretty cool how they actually humanize him in this issue, falling in love and all. That's definitely one that I'm glad I stuck with. I think issue 2 or 3 was kind of I didn't really have to push through it, but I thought it was kind of slow. And as you may know, the War of the Realms is just around the corner. So if you're not reading Thor, you should get on that before those prices get crazy, crazy high. That's definitely an event that I'm going to be reading and covering. So stay tuned for that here at Exploring Comics. And of course, I just got into comics like the day after Venom came out, and I saw it, and I was just like, you know what? I want to completely know more about this character, and so I went into my local LCS and was, but I had no idea that there were. I thought you could just go and pick them up, but you know. So I had to do some searching and some digging, and I'm totally caught up on that. Donny Cates, I think, is doing a great job in giving Eddie Brock a lot of. You get to see. You get to really feel the fact that, and especially in this last one with Agent Venom, of how you get the feeling that he kind of he feels left out in the sense that Venom, he gets the feeling that Venom prefers Flash Thompson over him if he had to choose. And that's, if you've ever been with like a significant other, or that's a feeling that we all get from time to time. Someone might prefer someone else or whatever it may be. So that's definitely really cool. And then if hopefully you got a chance to get the Carnage Reborn, I really loved that. There were some parts that I guess seemed a little unnecessary, but for the most part, for it being a one shot, I think Donny Cates does a great job of this is what's happening, this is how it's going, boom. And then you go into the next one and you can expect to see some carnage. I have never read Carnage ever. And I got so used to reading Venom that when I read Carnage, it literally freaked me out of the difference. It's not subtle at all. It is like night and day, and I love that. A lot of writers have difficulty they'll write a character for so long, and then when a villain or something comes along or something like that, it's you can kind of tell it's the same person writing different characters. And for Carnage Reborn, it was crazy. And the ending of Carnage, where he sees all those symbiotes, I mean, I really hope we get an extremely long series, because I love Venom. I love the character. I love the fact that you can be a hero, but you don't have to be all good. You can battle with stuff, and you have likes and dislikes and stuff. Another one that I've caught up on is Heroes in Crisis. I just finished reading number 3, and this is a book that people love to hate, and I think there's more people that hate it than there are people that like it or love it. I love it. my friends, a lot of coworkers I work with told me, especially my brother, if you haven't seen the episode when I go and visit his LCS, check it out. It's Duncanville. It's you'll see it. And he told me DC stands for Dark Comics. But yet, when you read a lot of these comics, you don't get the sense that it's actually dark. And with Heroes in Crisis, I have to say that I really get the feeling it's dark. It's not dark and gloomy where it's not evil dark. It's like struggling darkness. It's like a looming darkness where it is a mystery, but heroes are actually in danger, and you can sense that fear and that worrisomeness, I guess, worriness, however you would say it, that they're struggling with, like that anxiety. They want to hurry up and figure it out. I also love that in issue 2, of course, Batman. He's not gonna show all his cards. He's not even, he doesn't trust anybody but himself. And Batman, I think, is one of the darkest characters that DC has. And so when Harley Quinn, snatches him up and wraps him up with the lasso of truth, and then, previously in a couple pages before, Wonder Woman had asked him, "Well, we all know you're lying. You must have some kryptonite in there or whatever." And he lies to them. He straight up tells them, "No, I don't." And later, when Harley Quinn wraps him up and is choking him, it's, and I like it because it's not like Batman doesn't just body slam her, and he's like, "She got me," So that was pretty cool. And he tells her exactly where the kryptonite is on his utility belt, and she uses it so that Superman can't come and rest and beat her up, and capture her, I guess. In issue 3 of Heroes in Crisis, you get a lot of new superheroes, and towards the end you get to see villains. And I like how they do that. Sanctuary is I guess it's supposed to be a non-combatant zone. And there's a lot of there's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of parts that are very unclear. And I like that you're not I like the fact that you feel a part of the story, where just as much as everyone else in the story. It's not like you see things unfolding and then you're frustrated because you're like the characters, you're just waiting for the characters to figure it out. No, you're sitting there trying to put the pieces together too, which I think is done great. So at the end, you see Harley Quinn standing up with the hammer after she basically just smashed Flash's face in. I mean, it was crazy. You see Lagoon Boy, I think his name is, that's his name, deal with some type of PTSD of events that happen in the Titans or something. I don't read Titans, but I'm getting this strictly from the issue. So I could be wrong. If I am, let me know down in the comments below. So I like that. I like the feeling. I like that whole, you get just enough what you need to know, and you really get a sense of the struggle. I do wish that the books were a little longer, but out of 3 for a 9 issue, and I could have swore it was gonna be a 12 issue, but I picked it up today and I saw the number 9 on there, and I was like, damn. So it's just it's just gonna be 9 issues. But I hope DC does something like, keeps doing stuff like this, because it's good. I mean, it's good. I like it. I love it. Whenever there's stuff like this, Batman Damned 2 and 3, I'm gonna be getting. It does suck, which is another topic I kind of wanted to bring up real quick. The Black Label. I think that it is ridiculous how a publisher like DC, I mean, I understand, but I think it's pretty stupid, pretty dumb for them to come out with a black label which is strictly for adults, right? And then go back and change the whole story in the, and oh, we can't put this in the book. We can't put this even though it's a black label book, It's like, you know what? Get over that, people are going to get over it. Comic books are constantly changing. If anyone from DC ever watches this, please, please stop. Go ahead and put what you want in the books. People will read them. You're always going to have haters and you're always going to have lovers. Always. Stop trying to appease everybody. Please stop. And everyone gets backlash. No matter how great your book is, someone is always going to find something to... I watched this guy, I think it's Diversity in Comics or something on YouTube. And I've watched like 5 of his videos. And in 5 of those videos, I think two books he reviewed, he had somewhat positive things to say. And I mean, this guy has, he's got he's got a following. So, and I only watched 5 of them. I don't go to him for advice. I just kind of think it's funny sometimes of how he nitpicks stuff. So, I drop into his channel from time to time. But there's always going to be people like that. So DC, please, if you're going to make a black label, or Marvel, if anybody's going to do something like that, stick with it, please. We're a fan of you guys, your writers, your artists, and we love you guys. So don't worry about the backlash. We're still going to support you no matter what. Because when you come out with a book like this, everyone's always talking about the market crashing. And when you do something like this, now you have Batman 1, Damned, number 1, that's like $50. It's ridiculous. $50. I want to get Batman so that I can get it graded, but I can't do that now because it's $50. So and I've talked to my LCS. Some of them actually think it'll be reprinted. I don't think it will. I've been on several websites, several blogs, and as of now, Jim Lee said that they will not be reprinting it. And I'm sure DC likes the fact when their books go up in value. What publisher wouldn't? Excuse me. So I understand that that's a big reason why. They don't have to come out and say it, but I know that's why. Aside from the nudity, but no. Another book that I bought this cover, Daredevil 612. I have not read this series. I will be getting the Man Without Fear, the one that's coming out, after the death of Daredevil, stuff like that. So that one I will be getting. But I got the cover. I bought it because I thought the cover was nice. I haven't had a chance to read it, so whenever I do one of these next videos, I will let you know what my thoughts are on that. But also Wolverine 3, Return of the Wolverine, number 3. Man, issue 3. I am a fan of Wolverine. And I really think that I nailed it. If you haven't seen my videos, my video of what I think it was, I did a couple comic books reviews that day. But in there I said, I think that the guys in the cells are different personas of Wolverine. And so after reading issue 3, I think that I had nailed it. In this one, he lets the Berserker out, and we leave off on it to be continued. But oh my god, it was insane that they actually showed him kill Nightcrawler. I mean, and this is a spoiler, so I'm sorry if you know, weren't expecting this, but I wasn't expecting Wolverine to just take him down. Like, it was satisfying though. I mean, because I'm not a Nightcrawler fan at all. And, but at the same time, it's like, damn, because I don't see the X-Men forgiving Wolverine for killing one of their own like that, you know. And I mean, the claws just right in the dome. It was insane. And then of course the Berserker towards the end, and you know, we gotta wait until the next issue. So I definitely like the plot and the, you know, where it's going. I really like it. It sucks that it's just gonna be at 12 issues. You know, I wish we could get another Wolverine run. I know some people are like, oh, they've beat up the old man Wolverine, you know, and that's another thing. I'm gonna be doing one over Dead Man Logan. I didn't get to pick it up today, but I will be picking it up tomorrow, Thursday, and or Friday. So my next video, sometime next week, I will do it. I will do a review and stuff on it. So, and I know people might be like, oh, we're wore out on Wolverine, etc. But you know what? How can you not be wore out on Daredevil or, you know, other books like that? You know, X-Men seems to come out with, you know, you had X-Men Gold, Red, White, Blue, every color in the in the rainbow. So, Uncanny X-Men, I have not. I'm waiting to pick up book 1. I have book 2 and book 3. I'm just gonna go pick it up tomorrow, read it through, and I've heard a lot of, you know, people want answers right away for X-Men, for Uncanny X-Men. To me, I think it's building up so that they can actually explain and have a pretty good story, at least for the next couple issues. I'm actually waiting. I cannot wait till we get to which one was it? I think it's X-Men, Uncanny X-Men issue 11 and 12, the last of the X-Men, or the last X-Men with Cyclops and Wolverine on the cover. I think that that's going to be awesome. So I was really hoping they would bring Logan back, and I'm glad that they do. I'm glad I'm hoping he stays. I'm hoping he stays and they do something amazing. And so I will continue to get these books. Uncanny. I've never read X-Men before, so I'm glad I started with Uncanny. And then I'm thinking, I don't know if I will get the Age of X-Men. I'm not a fan of X-23 or the female Wolverine. It just doesn't do it for me, man. I'm sorry. Just, you know, I want the badass. I want the Logan. You know, the beard, the one that looks like he's from Canada. You know, so definitely doing that. What's another one? Also, the Whispering Dark. Now, I haven't seen a lot of people do reviews on Whispering Dark 1 or 2. So I'm going to try to do it here real quick. Whispering Dark 1. You start off, I'm sure you guys have read it by now. If you haven't, pick it up. It's a good book. It's a really good book. Especially to start off, it's a good book. I've said that like 4 times now. It's that good. So you start off following a battle, I think in Russia, I'm not too sure, and plane goes down rescuing rangers, and they're trying to crawl through the wilderness. And so the end of that story, I don't really know if this is her father or a pastor she's talking to this entire time. You're like reliving the story, the memory, while she's in front of a church, kneeling and praying and talking. So I don't quite know. She could be dreaming too. You know, that's the thing. We're not 100% sure. And in issue 2, you really start to see a lot of the story really starts to take shape. From my point of view, it really starts to take shape. You actually start to see the first couple of monsters in a couple panels, but you don't know if it's from the lack of sleep. Now remember, that's the thing. If you don't, being prior military myself, go pills, they are a real thing, and they go by many names. So they're not issued by the government. I want you guys to know that they're not issued by the government. There's many ways veterans and warriors, because that's that's what we are. Try to keep ourselves awake. We'll, the people dip tobacco. They dip tobacco. People will dip caffeine the same way. So there's, and it is gross, but you got to stay awake. It's your job. So the lack of sleep, you start to hallucinate. You can get sick. These kinds of problems happen. But back to the story. So keep that in mind, though. Keep that in mind, because it's important. And so you don't really know if this is what's if it's all in her mind or if this is truly happening. Now they come across a deer carcass, and it looks like it had just been killed, but within the next 2 or 3 seconds of them debating whether they should eat it or not because it still looks fresh, maggots just come out of nowhere and obliterate this thing. And when I mean obliterate it, I mean they devour this thing in seconds. So you're kind of like, wow, what do you make of it? So and then towards the end, there's also a thing that happens in the middle, but I'm not gonna ruin that for you guys. So but towards the end, it's they're being chased. I think it could be the Russians. I'm pretty sure it is the Russians at this point, actually, after reading number 2. But they're being chased by a helicopter. Doesn't tell you what kind, it's just a helicopter. And they've commandeered this truck, old farm truck. So they're trying to make their way through the mountain pass and stuff like that. And one of the girls, I won't tell you how, you'll need to read the book, but tells them about this village that is forbidden, and that is directly where they're headed. And a couple panels, I think the next page, it ends, but it ends the same way the first one did. And so I can't wait to get the third book. It's only a 4-book series. So try to get these books. Hopefully the market, eBaying them, hopefully they're not being assholes and charging you $20, $35 for a book plus shipping. I figure if you're going to buy a $50 book, at least throw the shipping in there for free or something. I mean, come on, that's $50, man. But no. And maybe it's just expensive, or maybe I'm just cheap, so whatever. So definitely be on the look for that book. I've been trying to get the source, but everywhere I look has been sold out. So I'm gonna try to get that. I'm gonna try to see if I can find the sources. If not, I'm probably just gonna wait and let that book go, and try to get it a couple years later. So or wait for the trade paperback. I don't know. Haven't really heard too many reviews about those books either. A lot of people on YouTube are doing reviews over Marvel, DC, stuff like that. So Bloodshot, that's another book, Bloodshot. Never read Bloodshot before. This is a great jumping on point. a great jumping on point. If you have previous history with Bloodshot, get this book. If you have no idea who Bloodshot is, get this book. He's an experiment. He has awesome cat-like reflexes. He It's kind of like The Mask when he's getting shot, and then he just spits the bullets out. It's I mean, and this is issue 1. And if you haven't heard the news, Bloodshot sold out. I mean, sold out. That first week it came out. So I think there's like one more issue. If it's still there when I go back tomorrow, I'm gonna pick it up just so I can probably have it framed, because that's what I like to do. I like to get 2 copies, usually a variant. I keep the regular cover and I hang up the variant. So I don't have any graded comics yet. I don't think I have any worth grading, and I don't really feel like I want a graded comic unless somebody signs it. So that's that. But yeah, so I'll be doing more of these. Also, if you guys have any clue or any shop ideas in the sense of, any more comic book shops you want me to visit or come to your local LCS, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and the descriptions for my Facebook page, my group page, will be down below. Also my Instagram and my Twitter. So feel free to follow or my group, post stuff. I'm pretty chill on that aspect. I've seen a lot of Facebook groups that have like dozens of rules. As long as it's, nothing everything within reason, nothing crazy. So I would definitely like to see what your comic book hauls. I'll give it a like, love, and a comment. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'd like to thank my subscribers. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. Thank you. You guys are the best. So see you guys next time. This is Exploring Comics.